You're using the wrong words. You are using the wrong word, Dan. I'm sorry to say this. I've only said that verbal escalations stop at this level. There is no verbal escalation beyond my level. You're speaking to a manager. This is the last level of escalation.
Obviously, though.
With the resolutions I'm giving you, I'll take your feedback about this.
Well, I'm going to give feedback, but not to you, of course. So, this will go somewhere else. I just need to know, when I complain about how this was handled, and not just from you, but from all levels of this. This is very frustrating. This has been going on for a year. I'm sitting here with, I'm just a consumer who bought a card and expects it to work, and it doesn't work, and I'm trying to get it resolved, and I end up with, having to talk to and explain a number of times, having to resend this stuff over 3 or 4 times. Obviously, I'm not talking to the right person who can resolve this, and I don't think your company wants people who are frustrating customers who, we just want to buy a card and have the card work. We gave this card as a gift. It's a gift card. We gave it as a gift. It didn't work. The poor person we gave it to had to call you guys to try to resolve it, couldn't get it resolved, had to send it back to us. We sent out the information 3 or 4 times. We sent everything that was requested of us, and it still is not resolved. And now I'm talking to a guy who refuses to allow me to talk to his direct supervisor to try to get this resolved. So that's what I'm seeing this as, Raymond. And just to know, this is what is, this will no, let me finish. This is what will cause me to go online and everywhere I can say, do not buy from American Express their gift cards, because sometimes they're bogus. They won't work. They'll send you some guy in India who will refuse to allow you to speak to a supervisor to get this resolved.
You spoke to a supervisor. He transferred you to a manager. So you still want to speak to a supervisor who is below me?
No, what I want to speak to, Raymond, listen to me. You know exactly what I said to you. You have a manager above you. Is that correct?
They don't take calls.
Yes. What I'm saying, though, is that's who I'm requesting to speak to, and you're refusing to allow me to speak to your manager. And it's easy enough for you to say, yes, that's right. I'm refusing to allow you to speak to the manager. Okay, so what you're saying is I'm refusing. Okay.
Why? No, you're using the wrong word. You're still using the wrong word.
It sounds to me like if you're not allowing me to speak to him, that you're refusing this. That's what it sounds like to me.
Whatever it may sound like to you, but I've not refused you. They don't take calls. That's why I am the last level of escalation. And
Okay.
I have provided you the resolution. I've provided you the resolution that we would need a store journal or the activation slip. Now, they have gone ahead and made an exception in stating that if you have purchased it using a credit card or a debit card, you can provide a copy of that so that they can go ahead and make an exception to the rule.
So, but I'm sitting here, Raymond. This is
with cash.
yeah. This is frustrating because I'm sitting here.
Any resolution, but to ask. So the only resolution to this is a store journal that shows the purchase of this card or the activation slip.
So what I have, and what I've already said.
Usually, I've noticed that every store that the card has been sold provides a store journal, which allows the prepaid resolution team to resolve the cases for them.
So we went to Walmart and we asked them, and they specifically said that they do not give those. So I don't know who you've dealt with in the past that has, but Walmart, who has to be one of your major providers for this, said that they have not. And they're the first persons that I'm going to go on their site and say, do not buy these American Express cards. And you, Raymond, are going to be part and parcel to getting really, really bad customer reviews. And when I call and finally talk to somebody who is a supervisor above this, I will be sure to mention your name and your manager number and say that, he would not bring this to a proper resolution. And the reason I say that is you say you have 2 resolutions, but you know that I can't provide either one of those because Walmart will not give a store journal, and we were not provided with an activation code, and Walmart said that they didn't need it. We have a receipt. I'm looking at a receipt right here for $150, cash tender, $160, change due, $1. I'm looking at the numbers on both the packaging and the receipt, and they match. and you won't even tell me which numbers are not matching. I mean, how frustrating is that, Raymond?
I'm not allowed to provide you that number.
That's-
That's security information.
Well,
I'm so sorry, Dan.
what in the
I'm
world
not
am I
allowed
supposed to do as a,
provide you that number.
you know, as a consumer, what am I supposed to do? So I have no recourse but to try to get to one of your bosses and tell them what a frustrating situation this is, and to mention you in this and say that you were part of this frustration because you did not help me to resolve this in a way that was fair for a consumer who went out and spent $150 expecting a card to be able to be used. You don't expect that a card you'd buy for $150 would not be able to be used. You know, it's just, and I know you're trying to protect the company and yourselves, but what you're doing is you're really hurting a consumer here who's very frustrated and obviously will never purchase from American Express or own an American Express card. And will be sure to tell everybody that they know not to use American Express. And I don't think that's what your bosses want for people who are, you know, consumers who are out there. So here's my next question then, Raymond. Who do I need to talk to get this resolved? Who's the next person that I need to call to try to resolve this? Because obviously you're not the guy.
I'm already sending this to my consumer relations team about this frustration you're feeling. I've already given whatever resolution they have provided me, but since you said that you have purchased it with cash, they have no other recourse but to ask for a store journal or the activation slip. So that's all I can comment.
All right. So who do I call to?
Sorry about this.
Yes. Who do I call? And you
There
can.
is no one you can call.
You could. Okay. So.
No one you can call.
Okay. Listen, Raymond. What I'm going to call about now is I want to complain about how this was handled. So this is a totally different thing. So I want to make sure that this gets into the right people's hands so that somebody like me doesn't have to go through this again. So, you know, I'm going to probably lose $150. It's okay. I can lose $150. That's not the end of the world for me. But I am going to make sure that American Express knows what happened, because I'm sure that there are leaders who are above you who will be appalled to find out how their customers are being treated in a situation like this. And I will definitely make sure that that happens. So who do I call for customer complaints is my question.
I am taking your complaint. I don't have any number that I can provide you.
You are not the guy that I want to talk to because you were not able to resolve, and you've been part of the problem, not part of the solution. So what I need to call is talk to somebody who is in the complaint department. Who do I speak to? I mean, if I have to go online and find it, I'm going to go online and find it. But if you can find it for me, that would be greatly helpful and appreciated.
I'm really sorry. I do not have a number that I can provide you.
So you as a manager, and you're an upper level manager, you don't even know the complaint department's number. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I'm sending your information to that team.
But there's no number that I can call to talk to somebody who could...
There is no number. It's an internal thing that I'll be sending them. There is no number I can provide
So
you.
when there's a consumer complaint, who do people talk to at your company? Like I know at my company who I would send somebody to if there was a complaint about us. Who do you send people to, or don't you know that information? And again, I'll find it online if not, but...
We do not. You can. Please go ahead.
Okay.
I'm really sorry. I do not have any information further than what I've already given you.
So there is no consumer complaint department here. Is that for real?
Apologies, I do not have any other information I can provide you other than what I've already provided you.
So you don't even have a complaint department that I can talk to. And again, I'm writing this all down so that it's very clear, so that when I do finally get to the complaint department, I know exactly what you're saying. So you're saying that you don't even know where I would complain to, not resolve the situation for this, but if I have a frustrating, difficult situation, you don't know who I would go to tell that to.
I do not have a number to provide you. That's all I can say.
Okay. So I have your number as 215-8001. Is that correct?
That's my employee code. Yeah.
Okay, very good, Raymond. I'm sorry that this turned this way, and I know you're just trying to do your job. I know you're probably stuck between a rock and a hard place too, but you understand the frustration of a consumer who's going through something like this.
I totally understand your frustration. That's That's why the prepaid resolution team has gone a step further, asking for a credit card statement or a debit card statement showing the purchase.
But
They would have made an
unfortunately,
exception.
yeah, unfortunately, we don't have that.
Use cash.
Yeah, so, you know, what,
Then that leaves us with no other solution. Because
Okay.
for an exception, they also need something to make an exception.